This is Fitness Blender's Cardio Butt Buster. For this workout routine, we're going to be doing 8 different exercises straight through for one round. All of these exercises are body weight driven, so you're not going to need any equipment. And we haven't included a warm-up or a cool down, so you'll want to add one of those in. Let's go ahead and get this routine started with our first exercise, the jump squat twist. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Squat down nice and low, do 3 rotations, then jump as hard as you can, get a nice high jump on it every single time. Drop right back down, start with the opposite side that you ended with last time, do those 3 rotations again, then go right back into that jump. Just keep alternating back and forth. Make sure you start with the opposite side you did last time. Every time you start with those rotations, you want to make sure that you're always doing an even number on each side. Now, as you're doing those rotations, make sure you're constantly working against yourself rather than just letting those shoulders rotate easily. You want to make sure that those core muscles are constantly contracted, constantly working against yourself, making sure you're trying to work as hard as you possibly can rather than just kind of letting yourself go through the motions. The harder you work against yourself, the more calories you're going to burn out of this, the higher that heart rate's going to go. We're almost done, just 5 seconds left. Keep that motion going, make sure all those muscles are contracted nice and tight. And let it relax. All right, let's go and move on to the next exercise. We're going to be doing a lateral burpee. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Jumping sideways, that full lateral jump. Then you're going to drop straight down onto the ground, do that full burpee position, out to that push-up position, back up with a jump. And then as soon as you land from that jump, you're going right back into that lateral jump, trying to get as wide as you possibly can every single time, dropping right back down into that burpee position, starting that cycle over again. Just make sure you're pushing yourself 100% on each one of those jumps, that lateral jump and that jump after the burpee, making sure you're moving as quickly as you can from that standing position out to that push-up position and back again. Now, this routine isn't very long, so make sure that you're pushing 100% into every single one of these exercises. You don't need to pace yourself since we're not going to be going for a really long cardio routine, so make sure you're really getting nice and tired at the end of each one of these exercises. We're almost done. We got 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, let's go move on to the next cardio exercise, the windmill lateral steps. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Now, there's a nice big circular swinging motion with those arms as well as a rear crossover lunge. So you want to step back behind yourself, that trailing leg, as well as getting a nice big circle with those arms. So with this one, just like with all the other exercises, you want to be working against yourself with that circular motion with those arms. You want to get a nice low lunge every single time you come off to the side, making sure that you're burning as many calories as possible. You don't want to just go through the motions and just swing those arms around. You want to actually engage those shoulder muscles, that chest and that back, making sure those arms are working against themselves the entire time. And we're almost done, just 5 seconds left. Make sure you're still working against yourself, really nice contracted muscles. And let it relax. All right, let's go move on to the next exercise. We're going to be doing a toe touch jack. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. All right, this is exactly like a traditional jumping jack. The only difference is when those arms come down, those legs come back together, you want to reach down and touch those toes. Then come straight back up, getting those arms back over your head, getting those legs to come back apart about twice shoulder width apart before you drop right back down again, bring those legs together and trying to touch those toes again. Now, just like with all the other exercises, you want to make sure all those muscles are contracted really nice and tight. Those leg muscles are contracted the entire time, and also especially those shoulder muscles are contracted to make sure you're not just swinging those arms. You want to make sure it's a nice controlled solid motion the entire time. Make sure you're working against yourself in each direction. And we are almost done. Just 5 seconds left. Keep it going. Make sure those arms and shoulders are nice and contracted. And let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next exercise. We're doing 2 knees plus 2 side leg raises. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. You're going to do a knee motion on both sides, then a lateral raise on both sides. Then you're going to start back over, doing that cycle over again, but this time leading with that opposite leg. So you want to make sure that every single time you start that knee motion, you're starting it with the opposite leg that you did last time. Now the easiest way to do that is whichever leg you finish those leg raises with, you're just going to bring that leg right back down and then bring it right back up into that knee motion. And if you keep that going, it should get you into a cycle where every single time you're going to be starting with the opposite knee than you did the time before. Now make sure you're focusing on getting a really nice tight squeeze on every single one of those muscles in your body. Those core muscles should be completely contracted, those abdominal muscles, those obliques and that lower back. Your arms should be nice and solid, contracting against yourself, constantly holding those hands in position, as well as nice and slow, contracting those legs, bringing those knees up, and also bringing those legs out to the side. And go ahead and let it relax. We're going to move on to the next exercise, the 2 plank knees and 2 lifts. Go ahead and get ready. And start it up. Going to come up to that full plank position. We're going to be doing those leg raises first. You can let those hips kick up really nice and high, then drop those hips down nice and low. Do that knee motion. Every single time you do that knee motion, you want to have a nice full plank so you have a straight line from your shoulder all the way down to that ankle. And then you can let those hips kick back up every time you do that leg raise. Just make sure you're trying to get a nice full range of motion on that leg raise all the way up as high as you can without letting that lower back dip or arch. And then nice and slow, drop it back down, keep it a straight line, tucking that knee all the way out to the side, up to that elbow as close as you can get it. Now focus on keeping a really nice straight leg every single time you do that leg raise motion. Though you're not going to have a straight leg when you're doing that knee motion, obviously, when you come back up to that leg raise, you want to make sure that knee is completely locked out. And we're almost done, just 5 seconds left. Keep that motion going, everything nice and tight. And let it relax. All right, let's go and move on to that next cardio exercise. We're doing heel tap hops. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. This is a nice quick motion. You can do a quick hop, getting nice and high, bring those heels together, tapping them really quickly, then bringing those legs back apart before you touch back down on the ground. Now this motion focuses primarily on that lower body, so that upper body is not going to be doing a whole lot. So you want to make sure that you're constantly concentrating on keeping your abdominal muscles nice and tight, your obliques and your lower back, as well as contracting all those muscles through your upper body and arms. Now the more you focus on contracting those other muscle groups as well as moving those feet really nice and quick, the more calories you're going to burn for this exercise. So focus on trying to get as much of a calorie burn as you possibly can. And we are almost done, just 5 seconds left. Keep that motion going nice and quick, everything contracted, and let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next exercise. We're going to be doing a jab, a cross, and 2 kicks. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. So it's going to be a jab, cross, kick, and then switch sides and do it with the opposite side. That kick is going to be always with that trailing leg. And that punch progression is always going to be the leading arm, trailing arm. So make sure that you're doing this really nice and tight, really, really quick. You want to make sure you're constantly working against yourself, pushing that arm out and pulling it back in. Don't let that arm go to a full extension. You always want to keep a little bit of a bend in that elbow, and don't let that knee go to a full extension. You always want to keep that leg just a little bit bent. You don't want to hyperextend your elbow or your knee with this. Now with that said, make sure you're constantly pushing 100% into every single punch and every single kick. We're almost done, just 5 more seconds, keep it going. 1 more on the other side, and let it relax. All right, good job, this workout is complete. You just finished Fitness Blender's Cardio Butt Buster.